This is my 18th day, and a lot has happened since then. Obviously, I feel weaker. I lost 20 pounds. I'm fasting because it's a way to demonstrate to the government that we have had enough about the criminalization of our youth, about the raids. There's about 350,000 people who have been deported. So that means that 350 families have been separated from the loved ones. And it's just, we cannot accept that. And also, we've been demanding an immigration reform for family reunification, for the workers who are here already to find a path for permanent residency and eventually citizenship. The candidates, the mainstream candidates, Democratic and Republicans, weren't going to touch an immigration issue. They weren't even going to discuss it because many people feel that it's wrong. Not the majority, but many feel so. Rather than creating controversy and at the same time gaining votes, especially the undecided, they, they're not going to touch it. They didn't touch it. I think nowhere in the U.S. have so many people fasted for so long, and that should be newsworthy. But apparently, they don't want to touch it. So we'll escalate. We'll escalate our nonviolent actions in order to get their attention, and we'll continue to doing that until we get our demands met. We always know that the mainstream media could care less about working class people issues, and but we have to live with it until we change this country, until we change the laws, so that we can have presidential debates that are funded by the public, not by corporate media. Uh, Basically, we're living in a fascist country where you consider that $700 billion were given to Bush within 2 weeks period to bail out Wall Street and the banking industry. That's what it is. It's socialism for the rich. And every time we want something, the people, the working class, the poor people, they don't give us anything. We got to get the momentum, take advantage of the momentum that we're generating. So on November the 5th, when we break the fast, we're going to march to the Immigration Federal Building, which is a couple of blocks from here. And we're going to have a religious ceremony and break the fast, but we're going to make our demands. And the number one demand is to stop the raids, stop the ICE raids that are separated and are creating chaos in our communities. Everybody's scared of those ICE raids. Number two, we want a moratorium on 287G. We want to stop it until we can develop something besides allowing the local police to commingle with immigration officers. There should be separate departments. The police is here to protect us, not to be an extension of the immigration of ICE. Third, we need to reform the Homeland Security that allows so many deterioration of our civil and constitutional rights. Fourth, demand is to stop criminalizing our youth. Here in LA, if you see a young person with a tattoo, immediately stop and is sent to detention center. It's worse if they don't have documents. Even if they're citizens but don't have documents, they're still in detention. And fifth, we want an immigration reform that unifies families, not divides it. So those are our five demands that we'll be announcing on November the 5th. And I hope that other cities or the colleagues can do the same and have a simultaneous press conferences throughout those cities. And preparing ourselves for January 21st, when the new government takes power. We're going to celebrate. Hopefully, Barack Obama wins. We're going to applaud him and celebrate him and say it's his unique experience, an African American as president. I hope he can go back to his promises of hope, and we'll be with him, except that we will with him, pushing him, behind him. He'll be our leader, and if it's a landslide which I think is coming to be that a landslide, then he can say, I have a mandate to do the following things, and we're going to be there. We're going to support him. We're going to have organizing to visit our Congress people, the new ones and the ones who have stayed, and say this is what we want, and we want you to help Barack Obama to push for these issues that we care so much about.
Do you feel the Democrats are much different? Do you feel they hold their promises?
No, but at least they can sway a little bit more, and their tradition has been always at least paying lip service to the poor, the working class. So I think there's a little bit of a window of opportunity, especially after January 20th. The new administration usually has 100 days to pass legislation that people demand. So within those 100 days, we're going to push very hard. We're already talking about that. There's going to be a massive demonstration in Washington, D.C. on January 21st. It is not to be against a new government. If McCain wins, God forbid, we'll be there in large numbers to demand. But if Barack Obama wins, we're going to applaud him, we're going to support him, but we're going to help him. And that's what we want him to know. We want to help him push decent legislation for humane and immigrant rights. We need to push for no more free trade agreements, or at least to reform those free trade agreements that help no one except large corporations. Certainly not the working class, certainly not the environment, and we're going to push hard. So this is it. This is our moment in time in history. If we don't take advantage of this, 4 more years is going to go by, and the situation is going to get worse.
Wow, physically, how do you feel?
I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I was telling my family that I went to shower this morning, and when I got out, I was really tired. It's amazing. This is my 18th day, and it's amazing how the body just wears off. For even talking to you, it just drains you. So before I wasn't taking that many rests, but now I gotta do that more frequently if I want to last till November 5th, which will be 22 days that I'll be drinking water only.
Is the dead mics and the beast in the machine in the Middle East? Can Barack Obama bring the peace and stop